Team Spirit versus PSG.LGD. Grand Finals, Game 2.
Ayan na nga. Warpling. Ayan na. Nilabas na yung pangtangkihan na LGD. Sakit. Sakit ng ano nila. Pick nila.
Thank you so much, Sumi. And yes, Trent, we are here. They're prepped and ready. A very confident sounding coach for LGD. How you feeling right now about this matchup?
I don't know. Everyone thought that every other team was going to be ready for Team Spirit the whole way through, right? You know, constantly doubting them, thinking they weren't going to make it. And constantly giving collapse these big heroes that they just discussed, like the Magnus. So we'll see. Game 1, they weren't ready. Maybe Game 2, they've got a solution.
It's going to be so interesting to watch. I feel like this team has really just ridden off the back of the momentum that they've gained from the very early goings in the group stages, and they haven't looked back once. The thing that I'm really interested to watch for is if they can keep that up. Like, I feel like sometimes when you get in these huge matchups and you go up one game, Team Spirit now there, you can sense the victory coming, and I want to see if they can keep up that same carefree attitude we've seen from them so far.
Just playing Dota, just having fun with each other.
Yeah.
Surely that, you know, that's gotta feel like at some point you've gotta be thinking like, oh, are we gonna win, guys?
Is this actually gonna happen? It's crazy, but we'll see if it ends up happening here as Mira spots out a couple of those treants that are trying to get a little bit of vision. So interesting things to watch for in this as far as a laning matchup is concerned. We'll see where that Nature's Prophet ends up at and how much pressure they can put on. Very annoying hero to deal with in the early goings.
Yeah, very much a discussion of timings really throughout all the games today. I feel like we're finding that one team seems to have a very clear, we want to do this at 20 minutes. And the other team's like, we just want to hang out and kind of scale.
Oh, Xingqiu gonna have to back out there on the Shaker. And 3 bounty runes again for Team Spirit, just like last game.
I will say, I believe this game that LGD had a very good idea of what was going on. I think they completely saw that puck pick coming. I think they banned around the fact that, like, yeah, that's going to be left in. We're okay with that. It's a go-to hero versus the Morphling. I wouldn't say they're really surprised. Toronto Tokyo, obviously an amazing player, but, you know, the puck not exactly one of the ones that's been, you know, popping off the rampages here for Team Spirit.
True enough.
Those spirits tend to scale just like a little bit more, and you kind of lack that a bit on the puck.
It'll be something to watch for, though, if he can make those good rotations, as obviously the Nature's Prophet on Faith Beyond can also move into multiple different lanes. So we'll keep our eyes on it. And like you said, I think both drafts have like a very clear identity behind them, right? You got this Magnus that's going to start off the fights occasionally after the puck comes in. You've got the Morph Shaker as a potential danger later on, but it is of course going to be played on that support Shaker this time. So we'll see if you can get into the items at the same timing we've seen for the cores.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like PSG.LGD were very much ready for that, right? The Dark Willow came out, and then right away they're just like, yeah. We saw that earlier. We know, you want the Morph and the Willow. We're taking the Morph and the Shaker. It's pretty good too, but yeah, the support Shaker hasn't worked as well. So, well, a little bit close there, but Ame's all right.
He's going to be able to dodge away from that one. You can see here also a nice little interrupt on the pull-through that came through, and Faith Beyond steps over to the side. This, of course, sets up some free farm for the Luna. Normal laning shenanigans and the power that you have as Bane in these early goings.
Yeah, it's frustrating for the Bane too, because like you're so used to being able to dominate a lot of situations as Bane, while Maposhka now actually trapped in by a Fisher with the treants on top of him.
A lot of damage out there onto this poor old Bane. Can they run him down? A couple more hits is all they need. Not quite able to get that last right click, and Maposhka with the brain sap and the runaway. Xingqiu still might be able to run him down. That boots advantage, but
all right, good choice, Xingqiu. Good choice.
Keeps it safe that time.
But yeah, I mean, Bane, obviously you're used to trading favorably and having answers to like someone trying to pull your wave. But with the Nightmare and the treants being there, they actually have some counterplay here to like trying to set up for plays as well in the lane. So it's a good pick for the Prophet.
Allows him to play that much more freely. But you can see that Luna already off to a hot start. 11-2 right there in the top lane is down bottom. Y gonna take one little punch there from the Dark Willow, and a Fissure block off on the other side, but not within that tower range. So we'll be able to get away with some extra damage. Tango, as well as the Quelling Blade through, and he's fine.
That's a nice Fissure, though. That's a pretty good chunk of damage on him there, just the harass. Only has a single Tango left. No salves currently on Maposhka. So, you know that Courier, you know, makes the call, rings him up, and it's going to be running with a salve in that top lane now. So if there's any chance here for LGD to score a kill, it might be sooner rather than later.
Too true. Gotta look for that opening. Down bottom.
Really trying to pressure, too. They keep pump faking this Fisher up top.
Yeah. I mean, if you catch him on the wrong side of it, it's going to be a ton of damage out with those treants. But even without it, right? Just the one Fissure and a couple punches from Faith Beyond, he hits really hard. They will be bringing over that courier now. Miposhka needs to make sure this one does not get sniped by XingQ.
Hopefully you're not losing it to a Shaker.
Yeah, true enough.
But this bottom lane, lots of harass being spammed out here from Mira and Collapse as well. But it's a Morphling, it's an IO. Morphling in itself a very frustrating hero to lane versus due to the regen mechanics and the ability to morph strength and agi, but comboed up with an IO. It's pretty rough trying to get a kill. But you know, more players, they tend to go for some of these overextensions, so maybe he'll get a bit greedy there.
Right, and even, you know, just the pressuring and forcing him to switch over attribute shift, it makes it a little bit harder for the Morph to last hit. So it's not all bad, as XingQ is going to make that big move over underneath the ward and going to steal away the small camp. How many does he get? Not a ton, but nothing to say. Able to sneak a few as well.
All right, interesting stuff there. It does sacrifice the top water room potential there. Oh, I say that, actually. Miposhka
moves in. Toronto Tokyo gonna be able to pick up this water rune and maybe get some extra pressure onto XingQ. Jumps forward and there's the first blood. Toronto Tokyo draws it.
Oh, well done by Miposhka. Like, not even just, he basically baited out that rune, right? Let XingQ coming a little bit too close, get the first blood for Team Spirit, and they're off to a hot start in game 2 after already surprising pretty much everyone by going up one game. I mean, I agree. I thought their draft was better last game, but you know, we just keep wondering, like, how long will the magic last with this team?
It does seem like just an unbelievably improbable run. To think that this team came all the way through in the qualifiers, we're down 2-1 in that series against Empire, and now up one game against the, you know, odds-on favorites. It's Collapse, Skewer, pull back. And they do some good damage there on Ame. But he will not be under too much pressure of losing his life. He's going to get the deny. A little cheeky there. I like to see it from the Morph.
That's a Morph player. That's what that is right there. And, you know, nothing to say. Maybe not a Pango player. I have some theories, guys. I mean, that was his, as far as I could find, mind you, I looked pretty quickly. That was his second professional Pango match.
Yeah.
Now, they played a lot of Pango when he wasn't available to play for PSG.LGD. And, of course, Coach Xiao or Chapa stepping in, playing a masterful Pango. You know, he did really well, and we've had this discussion of like how he sort of controls the macro game to help these players so they can think more about their own heroes and their own item builds, and they have a clear identity of like what I'm supposed to do in this game. But if you're not experienced on the hero, that formula doesn't work so well.
True enough.
But he's got a less draft now. Much better hero for nothing to say.
Very comfortable. Comfy time for nothing to say. And so far, he's doing fairly well. The early first blood onto Toronto Tokyo giving that puck the advantage as another stack up on those camps. And now, trying to scout for these runes. Poshka just within vision there, and Nightmare. It's going to use a lot of mana there. And Toronto Tokyo gets the haste down bottom, so a little bit of luck and a little bit of good rotations, helping out Team Spirit.
Yeah, even threatening to have the TP in there from Posh will be all right, and actually just starts going right back on the aggressive. Will only catch a sentry though, no obs taken away there. So we heard a lot of discussion actually last game from Insania talking about like the power runes and the strength you're going to have from that right here, and especially for a puck, a hero that's really capable of trying to abuse that, because you want to be making these early rotations with the Dream Coil. And it looks like not going to secure another kill there.
Yeah, I think it's an important point to make, is that you've got to watch so carefully on any of these other side lanes. If LGD overstep, they get a little bit close to a tower, puck could easily make that rotation and kill off a couple.
Oh, Miposhka gets spotted on the way out here. So did Sentry on the pillar, was kind of checking around, finding some wards, and then putting obs down by the Ancients. And there is a Sentry here on XingQ, so this could be pretty painful.
Oh,
he's got it, right?
All right, they see it. That was right on the edge.
That's a huge D ward. That was a lot of time spent from Miposhka.
And at the same time, LGD gonna move in and head up top. Why and nothing to say together. Are they gonna try and make a kill here onto the Luna a little bit far out? And we'll see if they can connect with this one, but
this is a tower kill gank. Yeah. They're ganking that tower. It's not moving. They don't have to worry about it. Luna, she's kind of fast, you know. She's got some night vision, maxed out Lunar Blessing. But a tower, it doesn't move.
True enough. They're gonna move in and
next hero. Mercy. Can she just throw the tower somewhere?
It's a possibility.
Idea
to dream.
Okay, that went down really fast.
Yeah, this is a problem potentially. The early group up right there and the fact that you can't really contest it at all. Yadoro heads back into the jungle to farm up his medium camp.
Look at Miposhka. He actually got spotted there. He did step in vision for a moment. And a correctly drawn line here from Y, I believe, is to his current path.
But they did get down that ward. We'll see if that one gets taken away by LGD. As down bottom, able to go for the RP now, connecting on to Ame, but I don't know if this is going to translate into a kill.
No, they don't think so, at least. They're not. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they bring in the IO as well, and that's going to be more than enough. Ame backs away perfectly fine.
Magnus.
Postgres just like, can I get something done here? You know, my wards. A little D-ward in here, just roaming around. Now it's actually Y, who's well known for being such a roamer, but on this IO having to play a little bit closer to his ally.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a change-up in styles there. We saw a bunch of that rotation going on in the last game from him, as Maposhka, on his Bane, finds another courier kill.
Yeah, for Y, despite being a 5-player, he actually gets often categorized by like some of the information scrapers in Dota as a roaming hero. We've been told by some of our stats people, just because he spends so much time going between the lanes.
Ame, Collapse, facing off with each other. And just the focus right now on the farm, stacking up the camps. Ame again moves up to come and contest this, and Collapse, I don't know if they're really going to be able to do all that much to stop him. Very interesting, but Fisher up top. Now the follow-up, looking for it. Fate Beyond there as well, and this is going to be a kill.
That's a pretty stark difference to the 3 heroes stalking the Radiant carry. You know, they got to get this kill, right?
They got to get something here, that's for sure. Maposhka's waiting off to the side. Nightmare down a couple punches, but they bring in the IO, trade off that Nightmare. And that's going to be more than enough for the moment, but why? Also dropping low, not low enough. Instead, they turn, find Collapse. One more touch is not enough with Fate Beyond. TPing in, they might be able to find him here.
That was the trusty shovel, keeping him alive.
Yeah, heading down to the south. TP is available, but Collapse in some trouble. Does the Spirit connect? Ugh, not quite going to be on the mark. He gets out.
Trusty shovel indeed. And up top, nothing to say, zoning back Toronto Tokyo as he kind of came in to invade on the Ancients, but the pressure will stay in the bottom lane. We already saw how quickly that top tower went down. No point slowing down here for PSG.LGD.
It's interesting though, right? Because you can see that this is a dynamic that we've seen multiple times throughout this tournament. You have Team Spirit with a little bit of a lead, even though it's LGD that are taking down more of the towers. Just that stacking up, farming mentality we're seeing from Spirit right here.
And look at the treants put out here. They're watching for Toronto Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
Because they know that everything's on this Dream Coil. That's by far the easiest way for them to initiate. So you just fan out your units like that from Fate Beyond. And unless they're going to smoke in, you're going to catch that puck.
And instead, they're going to find the Dream Coil towards the mid lane, trying to take down this Ledge. Do they have enough? Yes. Toronto Tokyo picks up that kill. And with that, a 3,000 gold lead this early on for Team Spirit.
Bit of a theme, I feel like, in these two games from PSG.LGD. Ame did a similar thing last game on the Ursa, where he kind of stayed in an area which seems like, surely, you know, like you're in trouble, you know?
Right.
He ended up dying on the Ursa in the top lane. And this time, you know, at least they got a favorable trade. They took a tower after that, which I think was part of the plan for PSG.LGD, but they were able to zone back on that bottom tower, shove the wave back out, and now even Collapse running in behind the tower, checking for a courier and everything down here. They're not willing to just, like, you know, give you the, like, take the kill and then just give you the tower. They're able to defend after as well.
Right.
Okay, but now that pressure is coming mid.
Era. They're going to get onto the Brambles. Thought about that RP, but calls it off afterwards. And again, nothing to say in the mid lane. Starting to push down this tier 1 tower with Xingqiu and Toe. And why? They'll get it. So it's so interesting to me, right? Because you think about traditionally what people think of these styles of play, and Team Spirit definitely going the more farming route in this one. You saw there for a second the last hits that Toro has. 135 compared to the 69 of Ame.
Yeah. Oh, the other actually spotted.
Okay.
That also comes back to just the idea of punishing that Dream Coil, right? It was used. You killed
Laki
me,
ng
right?
ano,
Congratulations. But
nila.
I'm a less rack. I don't have any cooldowns.
2-0
When I
ba?
respawn,
2-0.
I'm coming right
Oo
back. I'm
naman.
taking that tower. But as you said, the timing's like PSG.LGD, Y had said before, like, we love picking for scale. We like to be very balanced. We're comfortable going late because we think we make better decisions at that point in the game. And even though this is a pretty fast lineup from PSG.LGD, it does have some late game tools, right? The Morph Shaker, of course, if you get to that, can really go against anything at this point.
It is a little bit terrifying. You're not wrong. Actually queuing up the Dragon Lance right now on Ame. So obviously you could maybe disassemble that later and build it into the axe if you want.
Yeah, we see that a lot versus the Luna, because it makes like a really nice little matchup, right? Where she's kind of got this like zone that you're trying to play out of and kite her just a little bit, gives you that tank ability versus all this magic damage there too. Really balanced item to start out with.
Dire's top tower is under
So
attack.
Team Spirit nursing that 2K gold lead, as on the other side, LGD trying to keep the pressure onto these buildings. Up top, nothing to say is there, the 4 points in Edict. forces out the glyph.
Dire Snow fortified their structures.
Wow, that was a pretty easy glyph to get, not gonna lie.
Nah.
Didn't have to commit that hard at all. I mean, Collapse had already TP'd up there too, so I can imagine they'd like to go for another one soon. And as we approach, sort of past the laning stage, we start thinking, how's the Roche look in this game? They could take it relatively early, right? You get an early DD with this lineup with Nature's Prophet and Morphling. They might opt for it.
And look at this movement in before the blink dagger on Shaker. Oh, Nightmare by Mapochka to dodge the stun, but Yadoro is still in some trouble as they run him down. It was good, but it wasn't good enough.
Toronto Tokyo's coming, but they are too tanky. I mean, you see these stacked up heroes, maybe you're sort of thinking about going in for the Dream Coil, but it's a bit too much. They're just so tanky right now.
And instead, they try and find a pick off here. Nothing to say. The rest of his friends a little ways away. Zinq making the move over. They're going to get the Terrorite. That's going to get the Tether Snap.
Ganda ng pick nila sa Nature's
Afterwards,
Prophet.
the ulti coming from Willow, but nothing is taking the regen from Y. Keeping his core player alive.
With the wand, with the IO, this early hood into the Eternal Shroud as well. They're going to have some issues bringing down this Leshrac without the Luna being there.
Yeah, I mean, you just get blown up like that. I mean, obviously a great Nightmare dodge of the stun that came in, but in the end, you need to get that BKB online, as we've seen time and again, and Yadoro trying to get towards it now. As LGD starting to cut a little bit into this lead here. And also getting a little bit of free time right now for Ame to farm up.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think Toronto Tokyo is starting to just think about like his role in this game, what he can do. Puck obviously pretty versatile in terms of the builds. Thinking about an early Aeon disc here. And we'll have to get out of this one, even go for the a TP in there. Very nice play to even preempt that by blinking somewhere else for the TP. Could have set something up there. They also have the Orchid ready on this push here, so with the relocate in 5 seconds, everyone can be top lane right now for PSG.LGD. For Team Spirit, they don't see very much. I mean, they're rotating a lot of heroes to that bottom lane. I think they just have to go for the counter push.
Yeah, there's no other play really. And they have a glyph still on LGD as well.
They need this blink dagger on Collapse before they can defend.
It's going to be too much too quickly otherwise. And you can see getting very close. Collapse just going to farm up the rest of these camps here. While bottom, Team Spirit trying to pressure that in.
Toronto Tokyo, he's got the Veil. He's got the blink.
He's thinking.
How bold is he?
This guy's crazy. We've seen it time and again, and Fabian shows up.
He just wants the creeps. That's all he's going for.
Fabian spots it. The silence is there. That's the Orchid reveal, and he is mega dead.
Yeah, he's really greedy. It turns out. Oh, you got a full creep wave. That's quite a bit of gold too.
True.
But almost a certainty when you go over that play.
This does stop the backdoor protection though, so this is going to stay alive a little bit longer, forcing LGD in this area for a bit. But eventually it will fall.
And already Fabian back to that bottom lane to just push that back out too. So very orchestrated there from PSG.LGD. But the courier, it holds the key. Ice Frog, little courier, delivering a blink dagger to Collapse. So, he's got a few more things queued up there you guys might have seen already in this tournament. The Shard, the Force Staff. He's made a couple plays. Perhaps some highlight reel ones.
He's been absolutely spectacular.
I think he needs a couple more this game.
True enough. Not if LGD have anything to say about it. They've also had a few highlights at times. And playing on that Earthshaker with the Morphling, you just know that there's pain coming if they're left to free farm in this one.
That's really the worst part of just staying in the upper bracket. Less highlights, less games to play.
True enough, yeah.
Especially when you crush your opponent so hard, and then finally being challenged now by Team Spirit.
They're up one game again. Cinderella story that hasn't died yet. And seeing if it can continue on here in this game number 2. The BKB is done. Taking a look at a few of these other items around the map. Collapse has that blink done. Zinq getting closer to his, has it completed as well now. So all of the big fighting items online.
That's a bit frightening. It feels so good because obviously as the offlaner, you got to get these earlier items, got a Bracer, got a mech, and then you get your blink dagger. When you're playing as a support, you just got that one thing you're striving for, and it's kind of unfortunate when they match up like that because now it feels like your offlaner can actually play, but Zinq, this is an excellent counter initiation to have right now. With the way that their lineup's kind of set up, he can just lurk for so long. He can just wait on the side, and what kind of vision is going to catch him, right? Maybe an orb. Maybe you can take a fight at night like this and have the advantageous vision.
Oh, but the skewer back immediately onto nothing to say, but he's going to live through that. Nice jump out there. Zinq saving the day even under that ward.
I mean, they have relocate, they have Fisher.
Yeah, they were super ready.
That is a tough one, but at least the relocate gets burned, right?
Yeah.
So that is something for them, but immediately into the Roche.
Oh, and LGD Gonna make a bit of a sneaky play here. Did Team Spirit know that this is going on?
Where's your DD, guys?
They're gonna have to push. I mean, this is down to about half HP now. Team Spirit
Kita ba
is
nila?
really well covered by the
kakaisod
LG
lang.
as well, but they're gonna smoke up now. Can they get there in time? Aegis, it's super low now. They pull back on Zincu. Gonna try and take him down first, and they will get that kill, but it comes at the cost of the Aegis on Ame.
Radiant's middle tower.
I'll leave it in the
Ganda ng
time
trade.
for any other teams.
Ganda ng trade,
no,
no?
IG,
Boss lang.
everybody knows.
At the very least, you do get yourselves a kill from that, but surely still happy, you know, Zincu. That's basically an exchange. Sometimes you trade a Roche for a tower. Sometimes someone on your team just needs to go and kind of feed to block out the smoke. And in this case, that was just a small feed to help things out here. So another game where like the kills have also stayed pretty low. True. From game 1 and game 2. Feels like teams are being very picky about their engagements.
So much on the line. It's incredibly tense for these teams. And again, you start to wonder how much the pressure is going to be affecting these plays. We'll have to keep our eyes out for it for sure. But Ame with the Aegis, another 4 minutes with this. And I believe this is going to be the Manta coming out pretty soon for him as well. He can start to play with a little bit more freedom here, potentially.
And currently they already have amazing vision in the top lane. You can see this ward just been staying on the high ground here. About a quarter of its duration left. Nothing to say. Feels confident enough to be up there. They already control the outpost since they took that tier 2 so early. Team Spirit again just forced to try and hold on and try and build everything up into Yatoro this game. Does of course have this buffed up carry mentality that we've been working towards in this main bracket event for pretty much every team. You're going to have the empowered Luna. But, you know, it's not the wolf bite, it's not the tiny. So Yatoro got to do some heavy lifting here.
Potentially, they have a Nightmare and then the walk away. They actually relocate into this one.
There's relocate, there's Nature's Prophet. You know, it's very scary. If you don't have that really quick burst, you don't really want to take it right now for Team Spirit. But they forced out some rotations at the very least. They got to try and hold this tower, I think, or else this really wasn't worth it.
No IO save this time, though. That's the danger of the relocate. Nothing to say outside of vision. They don't see him. Now they do. The pullback going to be able to get that skewer. The vision not quick enough. And nothing to say goes down. Now looking for more. He has to be careful. Zincu there as well.
Uy, patay na yung Shroud. Wait, form, grabe naman si Ame doon. May Roshan pa to. May Roshan pa to mga sir. Naku na, huli Fate Beyond, Red Bull, huli, dalawa. Patay ito, patay ito. Mga Red Bull, may Bramble na yun.
There is nothing else left in the tank there for Ame, although trying to TP out, but the stun comes through right at the end. And LGD, another triple kill for Yatoro. And Y will manage to escape from that one, but a huge win for Spirit here in game number 2.
That is massive. Oh, what an amazing defense. And Class does it twice in the fight with the skewers, catching nothing to say. Like, you know, you talk about this idea with like the Aegis and like, what are you supposed to do with this Aegis? Are we supposed to push towers? Is that the goal right now? So, you know, should it be on the Morphling? You know, right. Doesn't he kind of feel like the harder target to get in the first place, and instead you're sort of hanging nothing to say out to dry? Like, he gets one skewer and there was no chance to save him.
Yeah, I mean, again, part of that is also the decision to stick around after that relocate was used, because that's probably part of their idea behind it.
Yeah, I mean, that's your easiest long-range save, right?
Unreal. 5-6. And Team Spirit playing just absolutely great Dota.
I'm sensing a smoke up Echo Slam here soon. You know, this is what you do. You lost your Aegis and you're like, okay guys, this is fine, this is fine. Group up, we're gonna smoke, we've got our other tools back. Let's go dunk on some people.
Zincu so often has been the answer and the playmaker for this LGD lineup. Whether it's the Snapfire or this Earthshaker, whatever it is that he's playing, he's making the big moves. So, 21 minutes in now, and Arrow continues to farm. I mean, this is the thing that's really scary, right? Like, how many times have we seen these Lunas just get completely out of control and then just walk high ground with an Aegis? And now it also feels like they have some of those tools with the Blinks online to actually win those Aegis fights as well.
Yeah, sometimes they don't leave that high ground. It just takes one sort of mounting up there and it's over. Part of the reason why they can be a little bit patient here with Team Spirit, but patience, you know, that's not something they're very well known for.
Oh, scary, invis. And then the smoke up afterwards. Team Spirit looking on the hunt. But LGD, sensing danger coming their way, will retreat out. Just
is he gonna horn toss him again, Lyrical? Don't tell me he's gonna horn toss him.
Oh my god, he got him again! Trent, they did it to him! As they find the pickoff.
Oh,
you're too good! Oh,
that smell.
Real. Take this abuse.
Oh, they're so good at just finding that one kill and like waiting for this timing too of just this. Oh, they caught him on the zip.
They pull him back in afterwards. Why? In some trouble. Skewer a little bit off the mark, but the Brambles are there for round 2 of it. Team Spirit, they came to play on finals day, taking down Secret, now looking to go up 2-0 in the series against LGD.
Dire's top
Meanwhile,
tower is under
at
attack.
least, you know, getting something back, right? You gotta go grab that outpost, get it, but man. Losing the Roche into just like taking over the map right now for Team Spirit. They're just having fun. That's what they say, right? They look like they're having fun. Well, Voshka looks like he's having fun. For someone who's playing Bane, that's as much fun as your face gets, I think. You know?
They're on top of it, killing it. And we'll see now if LGD can pull this back. I mean, again, we've talked so much about the effect that pressure has in this lineup. In a lot of ways built to try and just win the Aegis. Not a whole lot else is going to be acceptable for them and the sort of standards that they set for themselves. 5 to 8.
I love how you see the sentry they put outside the base too, because I had the same thought. I'm just like, where's that ward? Like, how did this Magnus do that? You know, and just nothing. Collapse is just too good. He just feels it. He just goes. At the very least, it's a lot of sentries.
They're all over the place.
And, you know, that's because they also have the gem, I believe, still, on Toronto, Tokyo. So they know that they're in trouble when it comes to the vision game. And so you get into this place where you're just kind of spamming them everywhere. And IO, you know, you heard our lovely draft panel, as well as Insania, talking about, like, this is insane and everything, and Insania pointed out just like how much more valuable that healing is on the earlier end, right? You know,
yes.
About trying to get as many of these mechs and these holy lockets as early as you can in the game. And when you have to spend on sentries, that can be a bit tough. But at the same time, you have a shaker on your team, so you're making a sacrifice in terms of the gold to ensure that Blink Dagger is going to be there. Unfortunately, they haven't really gotten much out of the shaker. Couple nice saves, but Zinky's still waiting for his big moment.
And it's tough, right? Because you have to sort of go in and make that chaos happen first with the rest of the heroes on LGD, and specifically nothing to say. All these items to try and stay alive. The Eternal Shroud, going for the Halberd, now into the Plate Mail. And it has just not been able to be enough to keep him alive against the big plays from Collapse. MVP in this game too.
And now? So what do? We smoke. You got night vision, right? You have the advantage there. They're going to have to rely on the trans from Faith Beyond if they want to scout some of these plays out. That is the vision that they have at night. But the edge certainly belongs to Team Spirit.
Absolutely. As they move up onto the high ground, Zinq feels like he's safe, but they drop down the ward right away. Zinq manages to get out of there, has that shard to create that separation. But again, a ward dewarded and taken away vision from LGD. They're just going to do this sweeping motion here, right? They actually scanned ahead to see if he could blink in there. He's checking the high ground. Collapse wants this so bad. He's ready. He feels the moment, dude. He is so on top of it. Waiting for the vision.
Nothing to say, he's going so far back. He's like, no.
He knows. Fool me. Oh my god, that was close. Fissure afterwards. They're sensing it. They back out of their time.
He is feeling it today.
Came close there.
I mean, that's what's so cool about the spell, though, is that you can just fish.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes you're not going to catch anything, and sometimes you get yourselves the big old whale.
You know what's also so interesting about this? Like, those 2 outposts are still held by LGD. They're keeping so much pressure on the map by LGD, and Team Spirit, it doesn't look like they're that interested in trying to take it back. They're just looking for those kills now.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, it's going to be a very long Roche spawn, because that's kind of what they're playing for right now for Team Spirit, right? It's just like, we don't want to rush anything. We just need one more good fight. We're going to clear this entire base of Luna. And we want the Roche for that. So they're going to be trying to control around the pit. Someone's going to sit in there. They're going to wait. They're going to be very disappointed for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. There you go. And that's just time for PSG.LGD. So what can we stall for here is the question. Shiva's coming up relatively soon for nothing to say. But the Agonists, that's what we're stalling for. So whenever you get in trouble as a Morphling, you look to say, how good is the next game? And it's like, oh yeah, right, we pick Morph Shaker. So we do have that going.
That's going to be the big window that they're looking for. Only 2 points in Enchant Totem right now for that Shaker. But can still be devastating with all the lockdown that you get.
Now, interesting things that we're going to have to watch during that, though, will be the fact that it's the Aeon Disc on the push, right? So they're going to be looking to catch and chain, and even just try and like go through that stats resistance while it's actually active on Toronto, Tokyo, and just try and like keep chaining him down, because he's not going to have the BKB. And then after that, we also know that Collapse, he really likes these kind of cheeky items, right? He doesn't like BKB. So this guy's making.
There's the Aeon Disc out. Toronto, Tokyo, not concerned, just blinks away after the Aeon Disc is procced. and also getting that D ward again.
Kayanin pa kaya ng LGD to mga sir. Tingin ko kaya pa to eh.
You find this big morph shaker play. Are you going to catch these heroes without the immunity that they need to survive what is obviously a pretty terrifying duo of heroes?
Fabian shows for a second, collapse, looks for an opening, sees him there. There's an opening, the horn toss, the pullback with Skewer, and immediately gets the kill. Nothing is free, not even pushing out a wave.
That's the kind of punish that you need. I mean, they felt pretty free on this map, right? Because they are moving around as a single unit for Team Spirit, right? And that's why we're spotting some of these heroes just like Fabian's randomly to spot pushing on a wave, nothing to say. That's why they were able to control the outposts for so much longer than you might expect, considering the situation that Team Spirit was in. But the punishes are free, and so they will go back once more for a disappointing look inside the Roche pit, and then wait another 30 seconds, and then they'll go back and do it again.
But look at this, they have that Aghanim Scepter done on the Morphlane now. Puck also just finishing an Aghanim Scepter and has an Arcane Rune bottled.
They're like sending in one first. Just these slow movements in. Ready to tether back off Sentry. It's going to catch both.
They have vision right away.
Know they're there.
Collapse. Oh, he doesn't go for it.
We've seen them go into these trees so many times.
Collapse.
I would not be surprised.
He's thinking about it. Xingqiu is back there.
Oh, they're just baiting out.
Yeah, they're waiting on it. And Fabian in the meantime farming on the other side.
The Radiant, they scanned that pit there to no success. They're going to send in the Treants though. So, PSG.LGD, they're in the know. They've got the Morphling, with the Aghanims, with the Shaker, and a team that really wants the Roche. They have a plan.
This could be LGD's comeback here. Can they make it happen though?
And how long can you sort of like control and force the focus of Team Spirit to be here, and what are you gaining on the rest of the map? I mean, again, they're fanning out a bit here, and you have the global teleportation up at 10 seconds for Faith Beyond. Yeah, you have Ame just farming the Dire Ancients right now, so
are they going to give up this
There go the Treants. I mean, they know they're in there right now. I highly doubt they just give this up for free.
I don't know, is it still inside here? They're moving over now. Faith Beyond getting some Treants out, starting to move into position. They're going to lay down these brambles.
They're actually doing this so slow that maybe PSG.LGD are just kind of fine with this.
Are they really going to give up Roche for this?
I think they just can't get into position, right? I mean, they don't have the best vision around the area. They actually see absolutely nothing right now, so... I mean, they know they're in there. They've sent in the Treants, but again, how do you get that initiation when, you know, you're so reliant on... You'd rather just fight on the high ground at this point.
All right, well... LGD give that one up. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them later. As Mira is going to push out this lane up top. Faith Beyond very close. And they're going to have to deal with their lanes, because this is one thing that's definitely beneficial for LGD is their split push potential. Faith Beyond, BKB with that Orchid. Xingqiu shows up. Gaudaro up on the high ground, nothing to say there as well. They have great vision on Team Spirit, and now showing in the lane. They're thinking about going, they pull him back in, and he is done. Can they go for any more now? They have full control onto the Luna, but Luna just walks away.
Someone better help Dire's
Living yet again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's thinking about, like, is there a buyback play there? Because that's a pretty bold Sentry to place down.
On just like that, Team Spirit with Aegis in hand. Faith Beyond could maybe go for a play there, but Toronto Tokyo not showing himself, has the boots of travel to join with the rest of the team.
Right? They had the ward near the base. They actually saw that Ame was moving over here.
Oh man, this would be such a huge pickup if they can get him. The spider legs walking in, they get him with the horn toss, chasing down for more. Ame's done. Team Spirit, everywhere they go, people die.
It's the ward game, you know? Just spots them heading over there. That ward near the base. Lets them know they chase it down. And now they go up. Will they leave is the real question. There is a glyph available for the Radiant.
True enough. They walk up high ground, and Gaudaro going to start beating away, laying claim to this area. In the meantime, Faith Beyond's going to try and push up that top side, but they catch him right away with the glyph collapse, pulls him back in, breaks the coil. Team Spirit, they're just playing too clean today. LGD need more. They don't have buyback on this Morphling. They can't get 2 racks at the very least on the side of Spirit, but I mean, do you need 2 racks? I don't know. That's a good question. Well, maybe Faith Beyond is actually starting to take this one down. Now the jump in, there's the BKB. Faith Beyond still has that Orchid available, but the turn off to the side. Oh, great Orchid to interrupt, and that will be enough to get him out.
That was really well done with the BKB TV. It's like there's one answer, right?
Yeah.
finds in there with the Orchids. So well done indeed. He will at least take a tier 3, so that's something. But of course, there's still lots of time. You know, 2.5 minutes for a Luna to just run back to her base. She's pretty fast.
You're not wrong about that one, and can start pressuring down these other towers. There's no more glyph either. The Team Spirit want to make another run at this with the Aegis. They're just so far ahead already. 10k gold. It does not look particularly close.
Yeah, the boots are traveling there from Toronto, Tokyo, so he's just able to push out this bottom lane. He can be there in a flash too, trying to match some of this global capability that's there from PSG.LGD, but they're still waiting for their shining moment of Morph Shaker. They are in this game, believe it or not.
Just haven't had an opening. Satanic now done too for the Luna.
Couriers just flying in everywhere, dropping off all these new items to Team Spirit.
I mean, Yaro's almost 10k gold up on the next hero on the enemy team. LGD just don't have an answer for this Luna, particularly with the Aegis. And it looks so free for him. This is the path to victory for Spirit to go up 2-0 over LGD.
They gotta guard this wave that's with them though. Fabian has caught the next one. They're scanning that he's actually still there, so he's going back Toronto, Tokyo. He's gonna try and hunt down Fabian.
Oh, and off to the side, they get the vision. Tries to chase him down there. There's the silence, the coil afterwards. Still hits pretty hard on Fabian, but with collapse in the area, they're gonna break the coil and kill off the Prophet.
How fast does he need to buy back is the question.
Oh man.
Can they actually like force it here? I mean, it's gonna get wild for the lanes, right? It's kind of why you're able to sacrifice your life sometimes on Nature's Prophet. I don't think they can punish this simply by the speed at which creeps walk.
Haste.
So it'll be a little bit more time now for LGD. But what are you gaining in this time? You know, there's gonna be a Scotty done, so that is pretty huge actually. Scotty and the Morphling versus this Luna. And again, Satanic.
I mean, it's looked so one-sided partially because LGD haven't taken that fight yet, right? Like, and there's still going to be that window when they have the, you know, Ag Shaker and can go in all at once together. It's just they're waiting for that perfect fight. Still have to be careful of that one on Team Spirit. And with this Aegis, you would have to imagine it would come soon.
Well, Collapse, you know, I think he wants his perfect game here. It's the only one who hasn't died so far on Team Spirit.
Absolutely carrying out of that offlane.
No kills too. So giving, you know, such a charitable offlaner.
That's the way it's supposed to be, absolutely. Ooh, also that Aether Lens for the extra range. So much range on absolutely everything in this game for him. But they're gonna get set up again. Morphling sending in the courier. This one might get scouted here, and
oh, it's on the way out.
Oh, the Lucid Beam.
Yeah, using the Lucid Beam and
well
the shard.
played. That was that the Scotty? Oh
yeah,
God, killing that Scotty.
Almost 3 minutes of no Scotty, but you know,
Scotty.
You know, LGD, they don't actually see enemy heroes. They just see enemy creep waves. Right? That's the goal right now.
Okay.
The creeps are the true enemy. So that's why Faith Beyond, you know, he's not up top where the heroes are. He's down bottom where the creeps are. Just keep pushing them out. Keep them away from your base.
Actually, ito yung ano eh, that's
Extend this
sundan
as
eh.
long as possible, and then force Team Spirit into a bad position. And you know, in the last couple of minutes, they caught up and done some bad work.
You know, you look at this
Ay,
part,
nung-
he just keeps climbing.
Will it be enough
Bouncy
though?
ano. Yummy.
They can make the most of this, dodge fights, and then possibly get another fight around that next Aegis. That might be their window with the BKB on Ame.
I think what's very impressive from Team Spirit is how long they have just kept this single like ball rolling around together, and they're not panicking. Because a lot of teams, it gets to this point where like it feels like you've been roaming around for so long, and like now the Aegis is gone, so people said like they fan out a bit and they farm, right?
Yeah.
Morph Shaker will punish that with relocate, you know, with a Nature's Prophet. They will find you. They will kill you if you try and go it on your own.
But with all the lanes pushed out now, Team Spirit, without that Aegis, still going to walk up and hit this a couple of times. You have 3,200 HP on Yaro as well as the butterfly done.
And they have this ward on the high ground that LGD don't know about. Collapse. They have Collapse.
So often he's been the one to make those big plays. They're continuing to push in the bottom lane. LGD hoping for an overreaction from Team Spirit as they walk up, start to hit these racks, but likewise, bottom lane is being pushed in.
They've morphed in as well, actually. He's fully committed to the Shaker.
Terrorize afterwards, caught with the fear and the horn toss to pull back. They got nothing to say.
He's so far away.
They don't have a way to get to him. He is going to die here as they get the Fiend's grip off and the eventual right click down to death.
Oh, Charles took you in the back. He caught one on the way in.
That's one! On to ZQ, he's in trouble now as well. They find themselves another pick-off potentially here. ZQ, nothing else left in the tank, falls down.
That's a nice play. Very heads up there from Toronto Tokyo, just not letting him just get away with offering up the sacrifice of the Leshrac. You know, not just a goat. We're gonna take what is shaking? Cow?
There you go.
We'll take that too. Yeah.
They're keeping these lanes pushed out. And this is the only thing. We've seen a couple of teams, you think back to that Quincy Crew game, they were able to keep the lanes shoved in constantly and eventually win with an all-in push. And that might have to be what we see from LGD as well. Maybe a relocate play with Morphling or something like that.
No. Do not say that. I won't allow it.
You won't allow
here.
There's potentially
Last
a way.
note
You
is
gotta be
spirit,
careful of your
Massacre.
team spirit. With this global potential that they have on LGD, anything could happen.
Radiant's bottom tower is no more.
The last outer tower. Now gone.
No, Omega 2-0. 2-0.
AC done. And Team Spirit starting to sense Roche going to be back up. 10 seconds. And with that, it could be the window to close this game out for Team Spirit.
All right, refresher or eggs? What are we getting?
I'm down for either. As it will respawn right now.
Get the eggs.
Interesting. Smoke up though. LGD. Is this finally the fight that they feel comfortable with? They have been sitting on this Ag Shaker for so long. Or Ag's Morphling rather, with the Shaker. BKB now done to boot.
Yeah, that's a good point though. Maybe they got ZQ and eggs here. Yeah, that would be kind of nice.
You can see Team Spirit not comfortable just hitting away in the Roche pit. Nothing to say, walks in. Yadaro up front and center. Jeez. Nothing to say, they jump in. There's the control, the damage out. Before it's gonna buys back immediately. Yadaro turns to fight, destroys, nothing to say. They got him, caught to the side.
John Glenn Castellan shared your stream.
Mas John Glenn, patay si Ami.
As they chase him down and kill him off. A great win for Team Spirit as they will find more
Bait lang na bait.
Unbelievable.
The chase continues.
Yaro just chases him down, and Echo afterwards trying to buy a little bit of space, nothing to say, but can they kill Collapse? Trying to take him down, but no, it won't happen.
May arap ito.
On the side, Toronto Tokyo will fall. With the big stun afterwards, Yaro
Oh,
moving in.
dieback
He's
daw, dieback, sir.
trying to kill him off. The fear.
Dieback.
Collapse, he's got him. ZQ looking dead as well as they turn.
Dieback to mga sir,
Another
dieback.
one bites the dust, but they buy back now. On ZQ, Faith Beyond getting absolutely
Wala,
shredded.
dieback.
Yaro is
Di kaya si
too big.
Yatoro.
As they catch him in again, the pushback, they got him caught and gonna maybe find the kill. Nothing to say.
Boss.
Dead. Another huge win, Team Spirit. They won't be denied. The horse toss catches.
Dieback, GG.
And Yaro just slaughter.
The way
Wala,
they play
GG.
these fights, they're so insane.
Yo,
with one
GG,
another.
GG.
GG is called. They call it a Cinderella story. Well, the ship is wear it.
Unreal. And we got a crowd up there.
Let's go.
Very excited for this young team's present.
Let's
They have been
go.
absolutely dominant in this one. 2-0.
It's not just the
2-0, sir.